This setup specifically is a setup for live streaming. We're about to get on a Zoom live stream with a multicam setup, and Ahmad here is going to be our guest, not a guest, our host. And I just lost my focus. There you go. Couple of things that I wanted to showcase and outline. Ahmad said something that had me realize that I was explaining some things, and he was like, "I don't know what's going on, but it's working."
This is just a lot of stuff happening, mashallah. It's really exciting.
So what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of give a technical overview as, I guess, production notes for myself, and if anyone is ever wondering what goes into a production live stream. Number one thing that's really important is the team. So we've got two gentlemen over there, Hamza and Sufyan, got myself and Ahmad. This is the dream team. Teamwork makes the dream work.
And we got Hafsa on the back end.
And Hafsa on the back end over there. Hafsa, say hi to everybody.
She's not here.
What happened?
There she is. There she is.
There she is. So she was in the background over there. So basically what's happening here is there's two systems that are interlinking between the interaction that's going to be taking place. Number one system is the cameras. So there's a camera that I'm carrying, and then there's this camera. This is going to be the main camera that is shooting the instructor, basically getting a straight talking head-to-camera shot, sitting at a desk during the live stream. This signal is being fed wirelessly into a Blackmagic design setup. Now, just so anybody's aware, one of the things that you want to ensure is that whenever you're doing a live stream, it's something that's going to be going on for several hours. So doesn't matter what kind of camera you have, the battery life, the native battery life on that is not going to be enough. So it's always good to have an external battery. This is something that will last us all day. And in that, we've got the DTAP that's powering essentially the monitor, the wireless, and this is also connected to a teleprompter. I'll get into that in a minute. But before we do that, we've got a Shinobi monitor, got a signal. So HDMI signal is being split into two, and that is being fed into one to the transmitter, the other into the monitor. The transmitter signal is going into the Blackmagic Design 8 input switcher. Over in this case, we only have 2 inputs, right? And so one of the outputs from the Blackmagic Design is going into the Sumo monitor. Here we're getting to see a multi-view, and the other is going into the laptop via HDMI to USB-C connector that is then being fed into Zoom. Now, in terms of audio, this is the thing that we kind of had to figure out yesterday, is that the audio needs to be connected directly to the computer if you're going to be using Zoom. Normally, I would go via HDMI, but for whatever reason, the HDMI audio output from the Blackmagic Design wasn't necessarily working in my favor, which is okay. So we'll just end up favoring it out over here. It's also a good idea to turn this on too. If we're going to be recording anything. We're not going to be recording. Oh, we should record, shouldn't we? Yeah. Put on your headphones, tell me if you hear anything. So, do you hear anything? Sound check 1 2 1 2. There's 1 minute without a shoe. You don't hear anything? No, how about this? What if we turn on? So if I turn on this, now do you hear anything?
Yep.
Yeah, you do hear me. Right now, 2 signals are being fed into here. There's audio being fed into the camera that's being relayed into the switcher, which is now being recorded externally. As I was saying earlier, the audio signal is also being fed wirelessly into Zoom. So we've got Blackmagic Design HDMI input and wireless audio going into Zoom. And that's what Hafsa is seeing in the back over there. And so Hafsa, how's it sound? Loud and clear? Okay. She says loud and clear, crispy, crispy.
She can't see the video.
She can. What do you mean she can't see the video? Oh, there you go. Oh, now she sees that behind the scenes. But you're still hearing me, right? Regardless of what camera I'm switched to. Okay, so that kind of covers one aspect of the multicam. Now, the second aspect goes into what Ahmad is interfacing with. So Ahmad has an iPad, and one of our biggest challenges when doing any kind of live stream straight to camera thing is when you're dealing with notes or interacting with people, you want to maintain eye line. How do you do that? Now, simplest way to do that is get a teleprompter. Don't even use a teleprompter. Just look at yourself in the reflection, and you'll maintain eye line if you're not recording anything. But if you got some, like a live stream going on, you want to maintain eye line with the people, it helps to feed the, I guess, whatever is going to be on Zoom. So in here, we've got an iPad. The iPad is connected to an HDMI cable via the USB-C, and it is being fed wired directly into the teleprompter. And so now, whatever he is interacting with or seeing on the iPad will also show up on the teleprompter as well, as you can see over there. So this way, anything that he does here, so if he needs to exit out of the Zoom thing and pick up some notes, he'll be able to see it over there, and he will not interfere or interrupt anything that's happening with the live stream. And so he's still able to maintain eye line. And so people, when they watch it, they'll be like, wow, this guy really knows the bio of these people.
As he's reading it.
He's reading it. And so,
By the way, what this is allowing us to do is it's allowing us to be that much better at our presentation. Now I can read the bios as opposed to winging them every time.
yes.
You know what I mean? So now we can actually be much more precise in our presentation.
Future, now this produces a new challenge for us, is ensuring that you don't mess up the bio while reading it.
Don't worry, I can read. I'm all right. I'm not worried too much about that.
The other important element is also the design and lighting of the space. And so cut to camera 4, guys. So right now, this is the angle that we're seeing here. This is the angle that all the live streamers that are tuning in are going to be seeing. And in order to achieve this look, something that's clean and straightforward, there's a lot of stuff that's happening behind the scenes that's not so magical. One issue is cable management. This has been a recurring problem and challenge for us. This is actually one of the best cable management systems that we have in play right now. We only have 2 areas or 3 areas of tripping after, as opposed to a dozen. We've managed to maintain a clear path from here and from here that goes all the way across to our storage cove. So our only danger here is actually where the host is going to be sitting. But the cables are necessary because the design of the space is such that we don't have a lot of outlets, so we got to run cables. But ensuring that we have something that lights our subject, whether it's background lighting, props, or the lighting of the subject. This is a light, as you can see, we've hung from the ceiling. It's a temporary setup. Yes, that is a tripod that's upside down. And we have here another light. Actually, let's look at this one. This is actually the main light, the key light. Now, one doesn't have to get as fancy as this, but it works in our case. We have a spotlight that's shooting through a fabric to soften the image and give us a nice soft glow to light up our mod like he was sitting in perpetual sunset almost. And on top of that, we have a golden reflector that is filling in any shadows. So this way our model looks like he is sitting in a dream setting while we're doing fundraising for Sudan. And then we have this white separator to essentially separate him from the background, which is lit in a color contrast that is different than what he's lighting him personally. And so that essentially is what makes this whole setup go. You got your lights, you got your cameras, you've got your connections to a streaming setup, and you've got these gentlemen over here manning the system and looking smart and trying to keep busy. And that's about it. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing, and this is probably the most important piece that connects all this together. I don't know what you two figured it out, but you'll notice that Ahmad is sitting all the way over here, right? But the audio from the Zoom is over here. So we were trying to figure out how to make that work. And the way we did that was using a pair of Apple AirPods, where you see one is in Ammar's ear, and he's able to hear Hafsa whenever she speaks, and I'm wearing the other one. So this way we're both in communication with. But normally if your streaming station is physically separate from the location where you're streaming from, you're gonna need some sort of listening solution. A pair of headphones that are not big and bulky like these would be the trick. And you said we use the Apple AirPods that are connected to a PC, not an Apple. Is there anything specific that you guys did to make it work, or is this Bluetooth?
No, we just Bluetooth connected it to the system device, so then all the audio output is through the AirPods.
That's a wrap for the overview of the live streaming station. Connect you again from Studio at the West, aka Almeida Studios here in Space City. aka Houston. I'll see you soon.